A love story that was never meant to be peaceful. In the middle of the wild English moors, where the wind never stops and the land feels haunted, a story begins that is not about comfort, not about happiness, but about obsession, pain, and a love that destroys everything it touches. This is Wuthering Heights. The story begins with a stranger. The story is first told through a man named Mr. Lockwood. He arrives at a quiet estate called Thrushcross Grange. But curiosity pulls him toward a darker place nearby, Wuthering Heights, owned by a cold and bitter man, Heathcliff. Lockwood visits the house and immediately feels something strange. The people are rude, the atmosphere is heavy, and the house itself feels like it is holding secrets. That night, trapped by a storm, Lockwood finds an old diary. It belongs to a woman named Catherine Earnshaw, and as he reads, the past begins to unfold. A boy without a name. Long ago, Wuthering Heights was owned by a kind man named Mr. Earnshaw. One day he returns from Liverpool with a mysterious orphan boy. Dirty, silent, unknown. He names him Heathcliff. No one knows where he came from. No family, no future. But Earnshaw raises him like his own son. But not everyone accepts him. Earnshaw's biological son Hindley hates Heathcliff. He sees him as an outsider, a threat, a mistake, and he treats him like a slave. But Earnshaw's daughter Catherine is different. She loves Heathcliff instantly. And just like that, two children form a bond that will shape everything. Childhood on the moors. Catherine and Heathcliff grow up together, running across the wild moors, free from rules, free from society. But their world is harsh. Hindley abuses Heathcliff. Earnshaw dies, and Hindley becomes the master of the house. Now, everything changes. Heathcliff is no longer a son, he becomes a servant. But Catherine still loves him, and that love becomes dangerous. The world beyond Wuthering Heights. One day, Catherine and Heathcliff explore the nearby estate, Thrushcross Grange. There they meet the Linton family, wealthy, refined, polished. Everything Wuthering Heights is not. Catherine is invited to stay. For 5 weeks, she is trained to become proper. She learns manners, dresses differently, speaks differently, and when she returns, she is no longer the same girl. Love turns into conflict. Heathcliff notices the change immediately. Catherine is growing closer to a new world. And a new man, Edgar Linton. He is kind, wealthy, educated. Everything Heathcliff is not. And Catherine is torn. Because she loves Heathcliff, but Edgar offers stability. And in one painful moment, she confesses the truth. She cannot marry Heathcliff. Because of his status, he hears it. And something inside him breaks. The disappearance. Heathcliff vanishes. No one knows where he goes. No goodbye. No explanation. Catherine is left behind, searching for him in storms, calling his name. But he is gone. And time moves forward. The return of Heathcliff. Years later, he returns. But he is no longer the same boy. He is educated, wealthy, confident, and dangerous. No one knows where his money came from. No one asks twice, because now he has power and revenge in his heart. A dangerous game begins. Heathcliff begins to infiltrate the lives of those who wronged him, especially Edgar Linton, and he does it through someone close, Isabella Linton. He manipulates her feelings, not out of love, but revenge. And it works. They run away together. But it is not happiness. It is a trap. Catherine's collapse. Catherine is now caught between two worlds. Edgar on one side, Heathcliff on the other. Her emotions break her health. She becomes sick, weak, trapped in her own mind. And when Heathcliff returns secretly to see her, everything explodes. They admit the truth. They still love each other, but it is too late. Catherine is dying. A death that changes everything. Catherine gives birth to a daughter, Kathy, and then she dies. Heathcliff is destroyed, not just heartbroken, but consumed. He curses the world, and even calls on Catherine's ghost to haunt him, because if he cannot have her alive, he wants her forever. The cycle continues. Years pass again, children grow up, and history repeats itself. Kathy grows up away from Wuthering Heights, protected, sheltered, ignorant of the darkness, but curiosity brings her back. And she meets Heathcliff. She also meets Linton Heathcliff, Heathcliff's son. And once again, love becomes a weapon. A new generation of tragedy. Heathcliff forces a connection between Kathy and Linton. But it is not love, it is control. Letters, meetings, manipulation. Everything is arranged by Heathcliff, so he can gain power over Thrushcross Grange. And it works. Kathy is trapped into marriage with Linton. And soon after, both Edgar and Linton die. Now Heathcliff controls everything, the final obsession. But power does not heal him. It destroys him further. He begins losing sleep, losing hunger, losing sanity, because Catherine is still gone, and nothing in the world replaces her. So he does something horrifying. He digs up her grave, just to look at her one last time. A love that becomes a curse. Heathcliff becomes obsessed with death. Not his own, but Catherine's presence beyond it. He believes she is still with him, watching him, haunting him, and slowly he stops caring about life. The end of Heathcliff. One day Heathcliff disappears and is found dead, with a strange smile on his face, as if he finally saw her again. And in death, he is buried beside Catherine, finally together, but only in the grave. The legacy of Wuthering Heights. Kathy survives, and life begins again. A softer ending after generations of pain. But the story of Heathcliff and Catherine remains, not as a love story, but as a warning, because their love was never simple. It was not healthy, not peaceful, not kind. It was consuming, destructive, unstoppable. What Wuthering Heights really means. At its core, this story is not about romance. It is about obsession, about how love without balance becomes destruction, about how pain passed through generations never disappears. Heathcliff loved Catherine so deeply that he destroyed everything else, including himself, and Catherine loved him too, but not enough to choose him fully. And that hesitation created a lifetime of suffering. Wuthering Heights is not a love story you admire. It is a love story you fear, because it shows what happens when love becomes too intense to survive, and even after death, it refuses to end. Subscribe to watch more movie recaps and full movie explanations.